Thanks for having us. My name is Roel Adams, and I'm with Ruud Ophelders, and we devised my new subscription solution. It's a search-based new solution for intranets or portals based on SharePoint. And the cool thing about it is we built it on top of the cool and super nice PnP Modern Search v4 web parts. We're reusing the results web part, and we've built a query customizer that fits into that, so that you as a user can take control of which news categories you like and get the news that fits that category. So we've entered it as a SharePoint hackathon entry, and we were then asked to blog about it, which we did, which was a cool experience. And then again, we were asked to present here, which is a even cooler experience, especially you guys are all talking so fast, so we'll try to keep up, but yeah. Let's see, so the key components of our solution are a dedicated SharePoint framework web part, which we built, which enables users to manage their news tag subscriptions. We use the OneDrive App Data Folder, we'll show it in a bit, to save your personal settings for your news tag subscriptions. We use the SharePoint, the PnP Modern Search results web part with a custom handlebars template to render out the news categories, so you can see what categories news have. We use a little managed metadata set for the in the site pages library as an extra column, which represent the news categories. We built a SPFx custom query modifier, which plugs into the Modern Search web part. And yeah, I said the personalized data is stored in the OneDrive Apps folder. And it looks like this. Yeah, Ruud, can you tell about this?
Yeah, basically the idea is that users can personalize the news that they see on the front page of an intranet. I think we've all had the request where multiple departments or categories or locations of a business want to see information tailored specifically to that location or department or yeah, all kinds of categories that you want to see. But on the other hand, there's also the need to show certain categories always, so to have mandatory ones that you can't unsubscribe from. So here we see, for example, that the HR category is not deselectable, so it's always selected. Ultimately, we put this information into a query modifier on top of the v4 search web part, which then appends an additional query to each request done to the news. So, for example, you see that we're selecting news from a specific site with the promoted state 2, and then we add the news tags for the selected, for the subscribed tags. And the next slide, we see how we store this information, because there's always a question, especially when making personalized or user-specific content, where to store this. And in the past, it was sometimes this was done in lists, but with the more modern solutions, the solution we like to use is the app root folder or the app folder in OneDrive, for which in the web API permission requests, we only have to request the files read write app folder, which then allows us to only get permissions on that specific folder. So we're not getting permissions on the entire OneDrive, but only the apps folder, where we can write a settings.json file, which contains the information we need to build the query in the query modifier. So here you see the settings JSON file, but the nice thing is that this is easily extended to include other information. So if in the future we need to add additional information, then that's possible. Another thing is that we only create this file when the user loads the intranet with the new subscription web part for the first time. So then the file is created if it doesn't exist yet, and from then on, it's available even on pages that aren't the main page. So anywhere in our intranet, we could use this information and the query modifier to filter search results to the subscribed categories.
Yeah, cool. So let's have a quick demo. So here we have an intranet page. Well, this is a page specific for the demo, but as you can see, we have a search results web part, which is here, the portal news. You see 3 news items. We see the categories rendered out in a nice little HTML part, a little div.
Which are managed metadata term sets.
Yeah, we'll come to that when I show the settings for the subscriptions. So this is our results web part. We see the news. We have a button which can open a panel in which I have my subscribed news categories. So these are my personal settings loaded from the settings JSON. And because we can switch on or switch off certain categories, let's say I want to see news with the news category location B as well, we see that the query is immediately injected into the search results web part, and we see changes in the in the news items that we get presented with. So this is all saved on the fly. If I come back to this page, I have the same categories selected and loaded, so the news will appear the same to me.
The dynamic reloading, because the edit button is basically its own web part, but with a dynamic data source, we refresh the search query on the results web part, which then immediately takes into account the changes that the user has made to the subscribed categories, so that any changes that are made don't require a reload, are immediately reflected in the results web part.
And as you can see here, if I'm a site admin or a power user that has the ability to make changes to the intranet, I have here the term set that we use. You can just select it in the properties of the web part. You can then say, well, maybe the corporate category is mandatory, the HR, you can just say which categories are mandatory, and then we have some styling options, but that's not for now. And then, yeah, you're good to go. So if we take a look at the site pages library, you can see that the only thing we did is we added the tags column, which originally was called news tags. That's why you saw it in the on the slides and the explanation. And you see here the tags that we added to the news items that we are using. So what we did is we mapped this crawl property to a refinable string property in the search. And that's basically the only extra configuration you have to make to your search schedule, so to get this this result. Okay, I think we've covered the main parts of our solution.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we can show the.
Sorry, I stopped sharing.
Maybe we can show in the OneDrive the file in the app folder.
Yeah. As you can see here now, the settings JSON file, this is a OneDrive synced, so this probably isn't the latest version, but you can see it makes a folder in my OneDrive, and the contents of the file here, you can see it's a JSON. So let's see if I can, I don't have the plugin in this computer, but you can see it saves the news tags, whether it's mandatory or not. The IDs these are the IDs of the managed metadata options, and that's how it works.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple solution we made using the PnP search with the option to add query modifiers, which might be an underused feature of the search web parts.
So maybe we still have a little.
Yeah, we can show how we've configured, how we've hooked up the query modifier to the results web part. So who has opened here the properties of the search web part, and basically the only thing that we have to do is to add it to the query modifiers by name
and enabling it, because that was one thing we did wrong when testing. All right, so that's that. thank you for having us and
Awesome.
for letting us explain the solution. And yeah, if you have any questions,
Feel free
Thank
to
you.
contact us.
Yeah.